and welcome to Museum Studies at Glasgow. I'm Dr. Catherine Lloyd, Senior Lecturer in Museum Studies, and my pronouns are she, her. For anyone who requires an audio description, I'm a white woman in my early 40s with long dark hair. And today what I'm going to do is give you a little bit of an overview of the Museum Studies programme and the different options that you have and where our students have kind of gone on to, and a flavour of the learning and teaching environment here at Glasgow. So at Glasgow, we offer two variations on postgraduate programme. The first is our full one-year master's programme, the MSc. You will study 3 core courses in semester 1, which will give you the foundational understanding of museums and how we can kind of understand them theoretically, but also how you can develop the skills to work in museums. So we have 3 courses: Introduction to Museology, Museum Skills and Professional Practice, and Managing and Using Collections. And the latter is kind of a real highlight of semester 1 for a lot of students, because you will be working in our Kelvin Hall study centre, working very closely with staff from the Hunterian, the collections management team there, to think about how we care for collections, how we document them, all the different sorts of kind of ethical and legal questions that surround collections, and how we can kind of share our knowledge about them with the wider world, which is a really fantastic opportunity, and I know students really appreciate it. We have a course in semester 2, which is our Research Design and Methods course, and that course is taught by information studies staff from across our museums, libraries and archives programmes. So you will be in the classroom with students studying those programmes, and you'll get a real insight into the range of kind of different research questions emerging within the cultural heritage sector. This isn't research that kind of sits in the university and we don't do anything with it. We're thinking about how research can really speak to the needs of the cultural heritage sector, and how we can design research projects that kind of really identify the challenges and where we might kind of go in terms of solving some of those. So a really fantastic opportunity to kind of think about these issues deeply with a wider body of students. You also have the option of 2 optional courses within the College of Arts and Humanities, and you can look on the course catalogue to see an indication of which of these we have running. Not all courses run every year, but there's a really wide, amazing variety of things going on, so please do take a look, and there's quite a few I want to do myself. As part of this, we recommend that you take 1 course, and it can only be 1, unfortunately, with a placement component. Now, this might not be appropriate for everyone. It might be that you've already got lots of experience working in the sector and you actually want to take kind of another theoretical course or a specialism course to kind of develop that area of your practice. But for anyone who hasn't kind of done lots of volunteering or kind of gained that practical experience, we do recommend that students take one of these placement courses, so learning and engagement in cultural heritage, exhibition development, or work placement, and I'll explain what these are momentarily. All students on the full MSc also take a dissertation over summer, and that's a real opportunity to develop a specialism that really speaks to the needs of the cultural heritage sector, and is something that you can talk about at interviews with future employers about your kind of expertise. So a real opportunity there to develop professionally. Our shorter programme is the postgraduate diploma, and the key difference of this programme is that you do not take the dissertation over the summer, so your studies of us finish around about April. Students on this programme can take 3 optional courses, so you don't take the Research Design and Methods course. And as this, we still recommend that you take 1 of the placement-based courses, and again, it can only be 1. So what are these placement courses? They're the real jewel in the Museum Studies crown here at Glasgow, and it's where students really get the opportunity to put the learning that they've developed in semester 1 and through their specialist courses into practice. A lot of students tell us it's kind of like the step up, like they think they understand the ideas and then they go out into the sector and things start changing, and it's really fantastic to see that learning journey. So we offer this through 2 different models. The first model is a kind of taught structure. So you'll have an information studies staff member at key points in the course, and you'll be in the classroom a little bit. You will have engagement with mentors from the cultural heritage sector as part of that process. And you'll be undertaking individual tasks, but also working towards a group project. In the second model, we have a more traditional work placement where you go and you are out in the sector by yourself or with someone else, if they can take more than one student, undertaking specific named tasks under the supervision of a mentor. Now, the key difference is really kind of the scale of some of the organisations that we work with here. So for learning and engagement in cultural heritage, we have a wonderful partnership with the Hunterian, who are the University Museum, Glasgow Museums, who are the civic museum service for Glasgow, and the National Library of Scotland, who have their moving image and sound collections here at Glasgow. And we are very lucky that as part of that course, the learning and engagement staff members from each of these organisations work with us to give students opportunities to kind of shadow delivery and get experience in delivering the sorts of events that they already deliver. And then students work with those mentors to develop their own learning opportunity, which is usually a family day hosted at Kelvin Hall, where we provide opportunities to engage the members of the public with our collections and the sorts of work that these organisations are doing, which is really fabulous. For our exhibition development course, students have a named mentor in the Hunterian in areas of exhibition management, curatorial skills, collections management, audience engagement, and digital engagement. And they work with those mentors through the course to kind of develop their bit of the exhibition process in relation to those different areas and put on an exhibition which goes into the Hunterian usually between June and September. So it should still be up by the time students arrive, which is really fabulous. Opportunity to kind of see that work kind of out in the wild, in the real world. And it's something I really enjoy teaching. Our work placement course tends to be working with slightly smaller organisations. So it might be small organisations that only have like one or two people working there. Sometimes it's bigger organisations as well. So students there will kind of work with a mentor and have a named role, but it could be that they kind of end up doing a variety of different activities because of the size of the organisation as well. We develop those placement opportunities over the summer, so we can't confirm what any of those are right now, but usually those opportunities are advertised to students in mid-October. So you don't have to choose which placement course you're going to do until you see what those opportunities are. So why choose Glasgow beyond our wonderful placement opportunities? We have over 20 years experience in delivering degrees in museums, libraries and archives, and we're part of this really kind of wonderful growing information studies community in the wider world of people with this expertise. We offer internationally recognised qualifications which are accredited by CILIP, who are the Knowledge and Information Society, and these are recognised by organisations globally through similar kind of accreditation schemes. Glasgow's museum sector is truly award-winning and has been leading practice for the last 30 years or so. The Burrell collection, which recently reopened, has been really hailed as really digitally innovative and sector leading. And we have a real wealth of opportunity to kind of show students these sorts of things, but also things that may be a bit older, a bit more tired, and think about how museum practice has evolved as well, which is a really interesting opportunity. You will have the opportunity to work with museum professionals and wider cultural heritage professionals, either working on projects through our placement-based courses or through staff coming into the classroom as well. And we also offer an optional study visit to London at the end of semester one, where you'll have a chance to kind of go and see some of the national organisations in London and some of the smaller sites as well, and also just let off a bit of steam at the end of semester one after all the assessments are due in. So that's a really kind of nice pre-Christmas or winter holiday activity that we really enjoy running. So hopefully you'll see from all of this activity that we offer a really dynamic learning environment here at Glasgow. As I've mentioned, a lot of our teaching takes place at Kelvin Hall, which is this really unique venue which has the collections and staff from the Hunterian, Glasgow Museums and National Library of Scotland, but it also has a gym and a soft play. And it's this really kind of dynamic place where we really get an opportunity to see the value of museums and the cultural heritage sector to the wider community. So we're kind of sitting in with families of children who are seeing the displays in there and kind of seeing how all of this kind of theoretical ideas about how museums can and should work for people plays out in practice, which is really a lovely privilege. We have regular visits to award-winning museums, so here in Glasgow, but occasionally we make the journey across to Edinburgh as well, controversial, to see some of the national sites there as well. So it's a very short journey for those of you not familiar with Scotland. Here on campus, we have cutting-edge digital technology available in our classrooms and our research centre, and we have staff who are actively looking at things like VR and XR and how we can use this to engage new audiences in the cultural heritage sector. So you'll have a chance to kind of work with staff and try on the headsets and think about new prototypes that they're developing and things like that, which is always really fun. And we have regular workshops throughout the year led by cultural heritage professionals and researchers. So for example, in our museum skills and professional practice course, most weeks we'll get in a sector representative to kind of talk you through an element of museum practice, such as interpretation or project management and things like that. So we're out talking to people all the time. Our career opportunities are obviously something that a lot of master's students are very interested in and concerned about as well. And we're really proud to say that we've got this vibrant international community of people working in jobs across the cultural heritage sector, but also outside of the sector as well, using those transferable skills. So those jobs are kind of too broad to name every single thing, but to give you a flavour, we've got students who've gone on to work in exhibition and project management, curating, learning and engagement, audience development, collections management, digital, which can be many things, and we'll talk about that during the programme, evaluation and visitor research, and front of house and user experience as well. And just to give you a flavour of some of the places where our graduates have gone on to work, we have a lot of Scottish institutions, obviously. So Historic Environment Scotland, the National Trust for Scotland, Glasgow Museums, the National Libraries of Scotland, and the National Museum of Scotland, but also London-based institutions such as the Natural History Museum, the V&A, the British Museum, and Tate Modern, and then some international examples as well, such as the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, the Frieze and the Smithsonian Institute as well. So our graduates are out everywhere in the world, which is really lovely to see. And hopefully you will be one of them. So in terms of how to apply for the programme, please apply online using the online application portal. Unfortunately, I can't review any applications myself, so it really is best to just use the portal directly rather than contact myself. Our entry requirements are a 2-1 honours level or an equivalent internationally. So please see the website for information on what the equivalent qualification is. In order to provide evidence of that, we require a copy of your degree certificate or many certificates if you've got lots of qualifications, and the related academic transcripts for those, which have the breakdown by course of what your grades were. We ask for a reference letter, which is usually from an academic, but it could be from an employer, particularly a cultural heritage employer, if that is more appropriate for you. And we also ask for you to provide evidence of your English language ability, where that's a relevant factor, and a copy of your photo page of your passport. So thank you so much for listening. I really hope that you will consider joining us here at Glasgow. If you want to get a further taste of what it is that we've been up to, you'll find examples of Museum Studies students and our wider information studies postgraduate community on our social media channels. So please do follow along, and please look out for any online Q&A events that are being hosted. Lovely to see you, hopefully, in the future, and we look forward to welcoming you in Glasgow very soon. Thank you.